Hey guys, what's up? It's Basketball Horror Reviews. I'm here with another Blu-ray, DVD, VHS, book, and vinyl collection update, as well as another uh, obscure dead format that I intend to get into. Despite working players being a little pricey, I kind of want to get into it, so we're gonna get into that in a minute. But starting off on the Blu-ray side of things, I got the one of the newest releases from Synapse Films. I'm surprised Synapse is even still chugging along, but they are somehow. With Satan's Little Helper, the Jeff Lieberman classic. Um, this is a Halloween set horror film. It's from the early 2000s, from like 2004, I think. And Satan's Little Helper is essentially a film about a young boy on Halloween who unintentionally becomes the pawn of a serial killer and helps him go around and kill people with it, and he thinks it's just a game. Um, it's very interesting. It sort of has an anti-video game slant to it, which I don't know if that's just Jeff Lieberman being a boomer, or if that's just like, you know, um, because like violence in video games was kind of like a hot topic in the early 2000s. I guess it still kind of is, but still, this is a very fun movie, very funny. It's a bit long. It runs for like an hour 40, and a lot of people really think it drags and think it's too long. I don't think it's that too long, but I will say um, that like I always forget how long this movie is, and then I get like halfway through it, and I'm like, oh god, I'm only halfway through this. Not that that's a bad thing, but um, it's just one of those things I always forget how long this movie is because it's a little longer than you expect it to be. Um, it's yeah, it's like 100. I think it's like 106 minutes, or either that, or I'm fucking blind. Which, considering I wear glasses, that could be the case. But yeah, the new Blu-ray from Synapse finally. This finally has a Blu-ray, which I'm very very happy about. I've got two box sets here, which this most of this stuff is stuff I've picked up over the last, it's pretty much since the last update. So it's over like the last, over the last like month or so. I want to say, month and a half. Some of this stuff is also stuff. I think one of these things is something that one or two items is something that I've forgotten about. I've forgotten to include, but I finally got my hands on the Incredibly Strange Films of Raiden Steckler set. This is an amazing set, very similar to the Milligan set that Severin put out, very similar to the Al Adamson set that they put out. This is an amazing collection of this filmmaker's very interesting, unique work, consisting of movies like Wild Guitar, the incredibly strange creatures that stopped living and became mixed up zombies, The Thrill Killers, Cynthia, The Devil's Doll, Blood Shack, The Hollywood Strangler meets the Skid Row Slasher, Las Vegas Serial Killer, Rat Fink a Boo Boo, the Lemon Grove Kids, as well as like 9 different fucking pornos. I didn't realize until buying this set that it's like that like 8 of the movies on here are just like straight hardcore porn that Raiden Steckler directed, which you guys know me. I can roll with the punches. I don't mind a bit of like old 70s porn. It's weird and gross, but like there's fun to be had with it. For some reason though, and I just want to point this out because like this is really weird, and I'm only really realizing this now. There are 3 films on this. There are 3 out of the pornos on this, which is like 7. I think it's like 7 hardcore porn films are on this. Out of the hardcore porn films, almost half of them are like Nazi themed, and Raiden Steckler has like refused to talk about that. So I think that's a little suspicious, don't you think? It's a little weird that he just made 3 Nazi porn films and didn't and has yet to explain why. That's a little troubling, I would say. But that aside, this is a really great set. Lots of great fun to be had if you love low budget exploitation. If you love bad movies, if you love Raiden Steckler, if you don't like him, then I would highly recommend The Incredibly Strange Creatures That Stopped Living and Became Mixed Up Zombies. It's a very fun movie. So is Blood Shack. Blood Shack is a very fun kind of minimalist slasher film of sorts. It's surprisingly atmospheric and striking, and visually striking, despite it being like really like not that good of a movie. Ton alternate cuts, all the whole 9 yards on this, as always with Severn, and it's very very good. It's a very nice set. Um, this one I grabbed. This one is one of the ones I forgot. I grabbed this a couple months ago when Arrow was having a sale, and they were selling like box sets for like $30, and I was like, oh hell yeah! And I kind of completely forgot. I bought it. It's the Weird Wisconsin set. This is the box set of Bill Rebane movies, consisting of The Alpha Incident, The Game, The Invasion from Inner Earth, Twister's Revenge, Monster A Go-Go, Demons of Ludlow, and the documentary film Who is Bill Rebane. All of these films on this set, I've seen them all except for Twister's Revenge and the documentary film. But everything else on the set I've seen, and it's all lovely, amazing, really great stuff. I really, really love. I really love these interesting regional, like small time exploitation auteurs that do their own weird little things. I love these kinds of guys. I love these kinds of guys' movies, and this one's got some bangers on it. Invasion from Inner Earth specifically is like an absolutely amazing doomsday film. The Demons of Ludlow is a film about a haunted piano that's really fun. The Alpha Incident is about like a quarantine because of space germs. The Game is basically, people being challenged to face their fear in death games. Twister's Revenge is like a weird action comedy from what I've heard about a monster truck that has sentience and talks. So that sounds like a very good time. But yeah, that's the Weird Wisconsin set. A very good, very solid set. Happy to have it. Comes with this nice poster of Bill Rebane, which I'll actually go through the effort of busting out here because I kind of like it. It's got the one side, you got the Weird Wisconsin, and then the other side you got just a portrait of Bill on the director chair. Very nice, very nice, very nice. As is always, Arrow Video does a pretty good job for the most part with these kinds of box sets. They tend to release some pretty interesting stuff. The other thing I forgot, which is a gift from my friend Derek, I did the Hot Ones rip-off live stream with, as well as the what was it? The MRE live stream. He got me this because he knows, well, we both love Godzilla, but he saw this and was like, man, this cover goes hard. I gotta buy this for Cody. So that's what he did. It's a VHS copy of Godzilla 2000, which, to be fair, that art, like, does go hard as fuck. And it's, like, embossed. It's, like, nice. You can touch it. There's texture to it. I love that. Yeah, the VHS of Godzilla 2000. I think I'm going to assume this is the English dubbed version of Godzilla 2000, because this is the release of it from TriStar. But yeah, I haven't seen Godzilla 2000 in quite a while. It's a film that I need to refresh my memory on, perhaps, and maybe I will watch this one. I remember Godzilla 2000 being mostly okay, though. Now for the format that's dead that I want to get into. I want to get into collecting and Laserdiscs, and I want to get a Laserdisc player, but Laserdisc players are like kind of expensive. Specifically, working Laserdisc players are expensive. But so I don't have one yet. But I saw this lot of Laserdiscs on eBay, and it was like $30, and I couldn't say no to these 3 movies on Laserdisc for $30. First of all, we've got Candyman: Farewell to the Flesh on Laserdisc, which this is the second Candyman film that was direct to video, made after the first film was quite the success. It's a pretty solid little sequel. I actually think it's pretty good for the most part. I think the fact that it goes into Candyman's backstory and stuff like was really interesting. I have this on Blu-ray already, but I don't plan on rewatching it anytime soon. I'm gonna wait for my rewatch. If I rewatch any of these films within the coming years, which I don't think I'm due for a rewatch of any of these anytime soon, but I want to do my rewatches on Laserdisc if I rewatch any of these films. So yeah, Candyman: Farewell to the Flesh, which it's it's a fucking Laserdisc. The other one I got is a Wes Craven film. It's Wes Craven's The Shocker, which is this is a really great, underrated late '80s horror film that Craven did. Basically about a serial killer that gets executed in the electric chair, and it turns him into a electric supernatural killer. It's very weird and interesting, and I'm pretty sure the final act where they manage to overcome this great evil and everything is like really like the final plan to fight the bad guy, I should say, is really ridiculous and kind of convoluted and fun. I remember it being like really kind of complicated and even drawn out. This movie is like 2 hours long for some reason. It didn't need to be 2 hours long, but God bless Wes Craven for making it 2 hours long. And finally, we got the most torn up of the three. The sleeve is like it's got some significant, it's got some spine, like bad spine damage on the top, bottom, and sides. And the front is got some damage on it, but it's Tales from the Hood. It is Tales from the Hood. Look at that shine. You look at that shine and you tell me that's not a fucking Laserdisc. That's not beautiful, okay? You tell me that's not a beautiful, beautiful Laserdisc. Yeah, Tales from the Hood. I love Tales from the Hood. Who doesn't love this movie? It's a fucking classic. I've been watching this movie since I was like 10 years old. So I probably shouldn't have seen it when I was that young, but I did. And the social commentary and everything kind of went over my head. But as I've grown, I've noticed it, and this is a very great movie. Like, unironically, a really great horror anthology that was kind of misadvertised as being like a horror comedy. When I mean, like, there are moments of humor in this film, definitely, but like it's not, I wouldn't classify it as a horror comedy. Just because like some of the subject matter does get a little grim. I mean, it is a horror film, but even for a horror film, it gets a little uncomfortable at times. I realize there's like not nearly enough fucking light on my face as I'm like wearing this fucking hat. Onto the two albums I've purchased on vinyl recently. These are both albums from the band The Moody Blues. First, I have their album here, which I think this is their like 1967 album, Days of Future Past. This is the Moody Blues with the London Festival Orchestra. This is an amazing, I don't even know what to classify this as, because I don't want to say like, oh, this is an amazing prog rock album, and it technically not be prog rock, or, psych rock. Either way, it's just really good music in general. Like, this is just a great album in general. You should listen to Days of Future Past by the Moody Blues. It's a very interesting kind of journey through a daily routine, basically. And there are some major fucking bangers on here. The Night is a classic track. Same with The Night, which is Nights in White Satin. The Evening, The Sunset Twilight Time is a really good one. Forever After Noon is good. These are all great fucking tracks. I can't really complain too much. I got this off Discogs for around $10. That's with shipping, and this is a copy from 1968. And this plays perfectly. There's not a single problem with this copy. There's a little bit of fuzz, a little bit of noise in there, but you know there always will be with vinyl, especially older ones. But it's not like an amount that's distracting or detracts from the music at all, which is really great. I got this up for this is a fucking steal right here, and this other Moody Blues album that I purchased is a steal. It is the Moody Blues In Search of the Lost Chord, which has the most, like, I want to pull it out of its protective sleeve, has the most banging fucking artwork you can possibly fucking imagine. Like, God, that is some good fucking art. Yeah, very similar to Days of Future Past. In Search of the Lost Chord is a really great. I think I'm more confident in calling this one like prog rock or psychedelic rock. This is definitely. It's definitely got some elements of both of those genres in there. Just really great stuff in general. I have really gotten into the Moody Blues recently. Been getting into the Moody Blues, been getting into Frank Zappa, been getting into, all these different, older bands that I've been sleeping on. And finally, we have a book. And this book is a fucking tome, let me tell you. This is a thick fucking book that we're talking about here. I don't read physically too much these days, but I bought this book. This is a $28 book. I paid $28 for this book. And goddamn it, I'm going to fucking read it. Because I've always wanted to read it, and I doubt there will ever be an audiobook version available. So, if I wanted to read it, I had to bite the bullet on it, and I had to do it for that price, because that price is the lowest possible price I could find this book for. And I'm talking about The Ghastly One. The 42nd Street Netherworld of director Andy Milligan. This is the biography film, not biography film, this is the biography of Andy Milligan, infamous crazy person director who I really like. I really appreciate Milligan's work. I've talked about him endlessly on live streams and on my channel and all kinds of shit like that. But here we are with this book. I'm about 30 pages into it, so I've only just started getting into this because this is like a 260 page book, and the pages are, it's a decent amount of text on a page, I would argue. But there's nice photos of posters, nice scans of lobby cards, photos of Milligan, photos of people he knew. There's a whole section here in the middle that's just like pages dedicated to just full color photos. Just pages dedicated to full color photos, which they do not disappoint. They show you all these different posters and poster artwork and photos behind the scenes and shit. Lots of really interesting stuff to look at. Photos from, like, lost Milligan films, like The Bitch. This is from The Bitch right here. There's a lot of stuff in this book, and it's really great, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I've only just, like I said, just cracked into it, but I can tell this is going to be a hell of a read. I'm not good at reading physically, but for this book, I'm making a rule where I'm going to try and read at least a minimum a page a day, because, like, it doesn't matter how tired I am, I can make the time to read a single page of a book. I know I can make that time. I don't care how busy or how tired or how whatever I am. I can make the time to read a page of a book, so I'm going to at least read a page a day, so that way I can still keep this thing going. As of late, I've been reading a few pages a day, um, which is very, very nice. But yeah, that's the book. It's it's a thick boy. It's heavy. Like I said, this is a $28 book. The retail price on the back is $34.99, $34.95, which I think is worth it because it's a very nice, very thick book. But yeah, that's it for the update for now, guys. No, I don't plan on making any like a review anytime soon, just because I've been kind of distracted with stuff in my personal life. So I don't know if I'll get another review out by the end of this month, but I'm gonna try to at least get like one or two out before the end of the year, just to, you know, make sure I got my one Christmas special in, because I didn't do a Halloween video this year. So and I didn't do Hooptober this year like I did last year. So I feel like I've got to make up for it. So we're gonna try. God damn it. Anyway, guys, that's it for now. This is Biscuit Boo Horror Reviews signing off. Peace.